So apparently at this point, we're just trying to rack up the score to see how many potential crimes the Trump administration can commit in a single week. We have leaking classified documents. We have using non-government apparatuses for official communications and not preserving the records. Both of those things, of course, highly illegal. And thanks to Atlantic editor Jeffrey Goldberg releasing the full signal text for the world to see, we also have potential obstruction of justice and perjury to add to those lists. Not to mention, of course, the just gross negligence with the passwords, usernames, and cell phone numbers of Trump administration officials being released this week via these non-governmental communications. So yeah, lots of horrible, horrible things in just 1 week with this administration. Some of them are typically crimes like Hegseth, sending out this highly sensitive government information about government attacks. Releasing that to non-members of the military is typically a court-martial offense. Like, Hegseth should be going to jail, losing his military status for good, basically getting dishonorably discharged. And those are the penalties that typically go along with an offense of this caliber. But right now, Democrats in the Senate are hyper-focused on the perjury. Because again, with the release of the full text messages from Goldberg, because the administration says they're not classified, Goldberg said, all right, if they're not classified, here you go, world. And the release of those messages proved that at the very least, Tulsi Gabbard and others who testified in front of the Senate this week were dishonest. At most, they were outright lying. Because those members of this administration sat there in front of the Senate and swore under oath that, nope, no specific plans were given out. They didn't list the targets, they didn't list the times, they didn't list the weaponry. However, the full text messages show that they released the times, they released the targets, they released what weaponry was going to be used. And these are officials who were on those texts. Now, sometimes they outright denied that these things were included. Other times, they said, I don't recall, or not to the best of my recollection. Those are dishonest statements that probably aren't going to rise to the level of perjury, but the outright denials absolutely would.